What's up, everyone? Back here with a quick review, King in Black issue 4. Wasn't expecting to do a review on this video, but I just read it last night. And I was like, okay, I got to do this. Yeah, it shows my enthusiasm about this book that it came out a couple weeks ago now, and I just now got to it. This is the big Marvel event this year, King in Black, which honestly could have been just the final story arc in Donny Cates' Venom run. But Donny Cates is one of the only writers helping Marvel make money these days, so they turn it into an event, much like his Absolute Carnage series last year. So here it is, King in Black issue 4, the penultimate issue of the series. But if you think issue 5 is going to be the ending of the story, you're wrong. It'll definitely be Donny Cates' final Venom issue, which will be Venom 200. So that'll definitely be the end of the story. But here it is, King in Black issue 4. Kind of a misleading cover. It's got the X-Men on it. The current day X-Men, like the Jonathan Hickman, crap X-Men where they just fight plants and live on an island. And that bothered me. Here they got this little square. They're using the big Marvel event book to promote this Peach Momoko series. I asked my brother, does anyone like Peach Momoko? Because I'm seeing her art suddenly everywhere. They're really promoting her. She's everywhere. So it's just kind of annoying that that little square is on here. But, anyway, just like I wouldn't mind if it was on other books, but on your main big Marvel event right now, that's just kind of distracting. But, yeah, let's get to it. Pretty much the recap is that Knull, issues 1, 2, and 3 of King in Black so far, Knull has been mopping the floor with the heroes. He finally made it to Earth, ripped the Venom symbiote off of Eddie Brock and dropped him off a building and killed him. And he's after Eddie's son, Dylan. And I'm piecing together that Knull believes that Dylan is the god of light, the one thing that could beat him. Dylan has special powers, and the heroes believe that Dylan is their only hope in defeating these symbiotes. Because Dylan can, for some reason, destroy symbiotes, by force of will or something. And I couldn't even remember what happened last issue. My brother had to jog my memory. And I was like, I think Knull fought Thor, and Thor hit Knull's jaw off, and then Silver Surfer showed up at the end. So the Silver Surfer reveal was cool. Donny Cates wrote that Silver Surfer Black miniseries, which I only read the first 2 issues of, but it looked pretty cool. Wasn't a fan of the art, but the idea was cool, that Silver Surfer was turning black and getting more juiced up, more powerful, and now we get to see that again in this series. So getting right to it. Cool shot, cool horror shot of Ryan Stegman's been the main artist for Donny Cates' Venom run from the start. Really, really good artist. He draws the Venom head as kind of like a combination of Todd McFarlane and Eric Larson Venom, which is cool. Yeah, there's Dylan Brock, Knull, looking super creepy. He's got this cool black jaw now since Thor freaking knocked his jaw off last issue, which is kind of a nice touch. Looks very sinister, very menacing. He's going full Sith Lord, trying to turn Dylan to the dark side, get him to join him. And someone's communicating with Dylan. We don't know who. At first I thought, should I know who this is? But I guess it's a mystery. He doesn't know. He thinks back to whoever's trying to help him to shut up and says that he's got this. So he reminds Knull that he just killed his dad. And this part I really like. That's good art. That's really cool. I guess Dylan's touch it burns symbiotes, and Knull is the god of symbiotes. He created them. This is causing him some pain. Knull is he's got an interesting design because he looks human. He doesn't look like a symbiote, but he's got really extended limbs. He looks kind of thin but elongated. He's got a creepy smile that looks like it should be on a symbiote, but it's on a human face. So a lot of things about his design makes you very unsettled, which I like about him. Very, very creepy, And so Dylan is tapping into the symbiote's hive mind, which they share or are controlled by Knull with, I think. And Dylan is then freeing all the heroes that were possessed by Knull's symbiotes. There's Thor. And it's working. There's Doctor Strange. There's so many tie-ins to this event book right now that there was probably a tie-in, some adventure of Doctor Strange and Black Cat, since they're sharing this dialogue right here. And Black Cat hands Doctor Strange some magical staff, and he turns into some, you know, pretty cool looking God mode Doctor Strange, I guess, you know. And then finally the heroes are starting to fight back. So it took 4 issues, but now the heroes are finally doing a scrap of damage, you know. So it was really starting to look like, oh man, Donny Cates, are you ever going to get the heroes to start, you know, turning the tide in this fight? So it looks like it's happening now. Even Submariner with the Atlanteans joining the fight. You know, he's gonna sink a lot of them probably. There's Spider-Man. I don't know how just the bottom part of Spider-Man's mask got ripped, and so you can see his mouth and like his nose, but the rest of his costume is fine. Like they couldn't have like Tobey Maguire'd him where he's got rips or something all over his costume. It's a little distracting. You can't tell right here because Spider-Man's barely in the story, but pretty much for the whole thing I can see his mouth, and it's just kind of weird that it's just his mouth, but the rest of the costume is fine, you know. And so, you know, once again, really good art. You can definitely tell that why this took Ryan Stegman quite a while to draw. And yeah, start taking the fight to Knull. Knull's not giving up. His jaw is going away, so his gross teeth and his tongue's just hanging there, super creepy. And we finally get to see who is the person helping Dylan. And the big reveal is Jean Grey. That was a lame reveal. That was stupid. And that's when I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to review this because I think that was very lackluster. I turned the page in anticipation. I was reading this kind of quickly because I didn't want to give myself time to think, who could it be? Who's linking all their minds together? And it's Jean Grey, you know. Wouldn't it be Professor X? Professor X is more powerful than Jean Grey. But then again, I'm not reading the X-Men books right now. I don't think anyone is. It's not good. I don't know why Jean Grey is in her old costume, which is kind of cool, and everyone else is in new costumes. I don't know if they've pumped up Jean Grey to be like the bestest eversies, but she's kind of waltzing into the story now, going full Slay Queen. And it's just annoying. It's just stupid. You know, Knull has been, they had Knull, like, defeat Sentry, and that was, like, a big reveal in, like, issue 1 or 2. The Sentry showing up and being like, oh, man, and Sentry got in a good hit on Knull, and then Knull just beat him easily. And kind of stuff like that. Showing up to Earth with an army of giant symbiote dragons and symbiote-possessed celestials. It was a lot. It was a lot. Donny Cates was, he was giving it his all. You know, it's kind of much and kind of cheesy. He's putting all this stuff in there to convince you that Knull is this big threat. Very little can hurt this guy, you know. These symbiotes are impervious to fire and sound, which is always what symbiotes have been weak against, but Knull has made things different. Knull symbiotes are weak against thunder. And so Thor showing up, Thor being able to do some damage to Knull, that made sense. You know, very little can hurt this guy. And this Jean Grey reveal, I'm sorry, it was just lame. I was sitting next to my wife when I read it. And when I turned the page and it was her, I let out a haughty, ugh. And she was writing something down, I think. It's like, what? I just said, it was a stupid reveal. I had to convince myself a couple minutes later that I got to finish this book because it just was kind of disappointing. And, you know, Jean Grey is tapping into Knull's mind, showing us things about his origin that we already know. You know, if you're reading the Venom book, that is. You know, lame reveal, but that's pretty good art. You know, Ryan Stegman's, you know, really good artist. And stuff about the God of Light, showing Knull, I guess, defeating the God of Light many years ago, but the God of Light, I guess, was young, spread itself too thin, so in order to beat Knull, it'd have to turn into a glowing ball and seek out a specific host, one thing to attach itself to defeat Knull once and for all. You know, So, yeah, blah, 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 Jean Grey. And the God of Light is here. It's a floating ball right now, and it can't get into the world because the world is being covered by a symbiote dome. Silver Surfer, Silver Surfer Black is still hanging outside the dome from the reveal in the end of the last issue. And so he shoves the God of Light in him, I think, and it super powers him. So this was probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite part of the issue, is just super powered Silver Surfer flying through like a celestial symbiote. And all the dragons like nothing. You know he's going super fast because he's the surfer. And Knull he's panicking. He's freaking out now. He knows that the battle ain't going his way anymore. I love that no. That's really cool. It's all covered in goo. That's a nice touch. You know, anyone else would have put just a regular no, but fortunately this creative team gave us something cool like that. That might be a reference to like some old Venom comic. I don't know. Let me know, one person watching this video. And then Silver Surfer stops, realizes that the God of Light was not here for Silver Surfer. And so it travels off. Mr. Fantastic being a dork again. You know, if you're a Mr. Fantastic fan, then sorry, because he's pretty much a dork in everything he is now. He's just super smart, too smart for his own good. But anyway, he's just being impressed with everything, talking about science, blah, blah, blah. And he says that they've actually encountered the God of Light before. They know it as Captain Universe. Another reveal. So the God of Light is Captain Universe? I don't know anything about Captain Universe. Last time I saw him was in It was in Spider-Geddon. Yeah. That was the sequel to the other Spider-Verse event. At Spider-Geddon, he got punked really easily at the beginning by the big bad. Once again, to show you how threatening the big bad was. So I was like, let's just make him beat someone very powerful. So that's my last memory of Captain Universe. So that being said, I don't know if he's popped up in any comics since that Spider-Geddon event. But that being my last memory of Captain Universe, I was kind of like, oh, okay. But turns out the God of Light, or in its glowing ball form, is the Enigma Force. That is the thing that powers up Captain Universe, or possesses a person and gives them Captain Universe powers. So the Enigma Force is the God of Light, and the Enigma Force just went into Eddie Brock's body, who did die. But if you're reading the Venom books, if you're reading the Venom title still, his soul kind of went to symbiote purgatory, and that's what he's been doing right now. But he's very clearly not dead, really, or anymore, or whatever. But anyway, I guess this is going to be how it seems that they defeat Knull next issue, with super-powered Eddie Brock. Probably will become a super-powered Venom again in the final issue of King in Black, and finally end this thing. That's the cover for next issue. Bit of a spoiler there, I think. Okay, and then here's why my book was $5. It's this how long is this? 2, 4, 6. 6 pages. 6 pages dedicated to this Peach Momoko thing. This wasn't made for me. I'm not in it. This is not, like, it's not because it's Japanese. I can get into it. It's just this isn't enticing. What am I looking at? This is a Marvel book right now. Okay. One person watching, even though you might just be like a friend or family member, comment and let me know if this is the stuff that inspires you to come to a comic shop and buy a comic. Oh my gosh. Not into it. Anyway, so yeah, that was King in Black. What do you think of Magneto's white costume? He wasn't even in this issue. So that was King in Black issue 4. Pretty much only parts I liked was a good 2 pages of Dylan Brock hurting Knull. That was a good page and a half of Silver Surfer with the Enigma Force flying around, and then the reveal that Eddie Brock is going to be the new Captain Universe. So that's pretty much it. Do I recommend it? I don't know. For $5, I don't know. I mean, it's the big event. You get to know what's happening. If you're a Ryan Stegman fan and his art is quite good in this, then yeah, then I would recommend it. I used to not like Ryan Stegman, like for Jerry Duggan's, what was it called? Uncanny Avengers run. It started off with Ryan Stegman. I didn't like him then. That was a few years ago. That was three or 4 years ago or something like that, maybe. And Ryan Stegman's gotten a lot better, you know, tapping into his horror roots and working with Donny Cates on Venom. His art is very good in this. Yeah, before he made everyone look kind of weird and kind of bony and really small joints and stuff. And he still has a style, and he's got a lot of style. But yeah, his art is really good. I like the way he draws people. And so yeah, that's it. King in Black issue 4. Let me know. Hopefully there's going to be a point to all this nonsense. I'm invested in the story. I've been reading Venom, the whole thing, since Donny Cates has been on it. Kind of looks like Donny Cates is just here on Venom to do his damage and then leave, because he's gone after issue 200. And it's kind of weird to me. But I really hope this all has a point. That was the problem with Absolute Carnage last year. And I love Carnage. I was very invested in Absolute Carnage because it seemed so cool and bold. And it was good and entertaining. And I love Carnage as he's my favorite Spider-Man villain. He's my favorite Marvel villain probably in all the Marvel universe. So I have a huge bias. But it still ended because, and you just said like, wow, it was just a precursor to next year's King in Black. It just kind of set up King in Black. So now here's King in Black, and I almost feel like I just kind of want it to be done. But hopefully next issue will be really good. I want to be excited about this book. Let me know what you think. Okay, bye.